For years now, Vista Residences, the condominium development arm of the country's largest home builder, Vista Land and Lifescapes Incorporated, has been providing quality condominium properties to the larger scale of Filipinos. It has been one of the active players in Manila for developing condos to cater to the needs of Filipino and foreign investors, young professionals, and students looking for a home in the city that can provide convenience, comfort, and access to almost everything through the years. At present, Vista Residences has over 39 condominium projects in metro cities, 3 of which are located along Taft Avenue in Malate, Manila. Amid the pandemic, Vista Residences is yet to launch another condominium property. A joint venture between Vista Residences and Mitsubishi Estate Corporation, this fourth condo project is dubbed as the first Japanese-inspired condominium development in Manila in honor of the partnership between the two companies. You can experience the warm condo living vibe of Japan at the historic and premium area of Taft Avenue, Malate, Manila. It is strategically located just a few minutes away from the prestigious universities in our country, such as De La Salle University, College of St. Benilde, and St. Scholastica's College. Heading to different areas of the National Capital Region is made conveniently, as Vista Residences condominiums are just a few minutes away from transportation hubs in the country.
Nothing is as precious as life's fleeting moments. In them, we feel alive. In them, we see the things that matter most. Vista Residences lets you live in these moments by being just a heartbeat away from everything. Whether in pursuit of dreams or in pursuit of the best things in life, no one should be too far away from where their passions reside. We create beautiful spaces to live in the middle of the city, so anyone can make of the moment and live those moments beautifully. At Vista Residences, we're proud to build according to the idea of the global Filipino. We set our sights to global standards while keeping to a distinctly Filipino touch. At Vista Residences, one will never be away from where the heart is, because we will always be in the heart of the city. Whether for leasing or for owning, make an investment that matters. Invest in Vista Residences. It is where life's best moments happen.
For years now, Vista Residences, the condominium development arm of the country's largest home builder, Vista Land and Lifescapes Incorporated, has been providing quality condominium properties to the larger scale of Filipinos. It has been one of the active players in Manila for developing condos to cater to the needs of Filipino and foreign investors, young professionals, and students looking for a home in the city that can provide convenience, comfort, and access to almost everything through the years. At present, Vista Residences has over 39 condominium projects in metro cities, 3 of which are located along Taft Avenue in Malate, Manila. Amid the pandemic, Vista Residences is yet to launch another condominium property. A joint venture between Vista Residences and Mitsubishi Estate Corporation, this fourth condo project is dubbed as the first Japanese-inspired condominium development in Manila in honor of the partnership between the two companies. You can experience the warm condo living vibe of Japan at the historic and premium area of Taft Avenue, Malate, Manila. It is strategically located just a few minutes away from the prestigious universities in our country, such as De La Salle University, College of St. Benilde, and St. Scholastica's College. Heading to different areas of the National Capital Region is made conveniently, as Vista Residences condominiums are just a few minutes away from transportation hubs in the country.
Vista morning, everyone. My name is Joel from Suarez Residences Cebu, and I'm here with my partner Jay. Hi, Jay.
Hi Joel, hello everyone. My name is Jay Marcilia of The Loop at Limkit kay Cagayan de Oro. How are you all doing today?
We hope everyone is safe and doing well despite the ongoing pandemic. And happy Friday to everyone. I'd like to ask everyone what your plans are for the weekend. Let us know in the comment section below. But let me ask my partner here first. How about you, Jay? What does your usual weekend look like?
Actually, typically Joel, if it's not for the pandemic, it's TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, the work week is done, and I can finally have some time for myself to relax. Usually I would go out with my friends, or probably have a nice weekend at the beach. But how about our viewers?
Yes,
How
how
do they
about our
spend their
viewers?
their
How
weekend?
do you guys spend your weekend usually? We have our first comment from Dredra Agas, Netflix and chill. Alam ko
Definitely
maraming
chill talaga.
ginagawa niyan, especially during
Yeah,
weekends, di ba?
I do
Usually
that too.
now. Mm-mm.
From Megan Udela, eat and sleep. Definitely rest ng rest talaga for the weekend kasi preparation yan for the next week eh. Yun.
Mm-mm. I think that's us every after work siguro, eat and sleep
Eat and
agad.
sleep talaga. So yun.
But I agree with our viewers, no. It's really important to have work-life balance because with everything that's been going on, taking care of our mental health is a need, especially since our weekends look a lot different now from our usual week dapat, right, Jay? Medyo na-change siya since we all need
Definitely.
to stay at home. So, di na muna pwede yung mga meeting up with friends and going out on road trips and such. Di ba, Jay?
Actually, Joel, I agree with you. Now we have our online tambayan. Bawal na kasi yung face-to-face meet-up. Kumbaga, we adapted to the new normal even in socializing with people. Still, some people have a hard time coping with the changes in this kind of setup. And that's why we are here today to talk about this with you guys. So that we can help each other and probably share some ways that we can invest in our mental health.
That's why we welcome you all today to Investment Lab, integrating wellness and well-being in today's time. We will be your hosts for today's very timely topic on mental health. So, Jay, are you also excited with what's in store for us today?
Yes, of course, Miss Joel. That's why before we start, we would like to encourage everyone to like and share this live stream because we will be giving out prizes to three lucky viewers. All you have to do is to like, share, and drop a comment on the live stream below after you're done with the first two steps. Again, like and share our live stream and then comment down below once you're done. So you'll have a chance to be one of our lucky three winners.
That's very exciting indeed, Jay. So I encourage you all to join and be one of the lucky winners of our like and share our live stream raffle promo. So good luck, guys. By just liking and sharing, may 500 pesos ka na. It's more from Vista Residences talaga, Jay, no? They're very, very generous.
Definitely. That is why do not forget to like and share this live stream so you can be one of our lucky winners. All right, moving on to the next part of our program, let us all welcome our speaker for today. He is a registered pharmacist and a current postgraduate intern at the University of Santo Tomas Hospital with almost a decade of experience in healthcare and health allied field.
Yes, he is also awarded as the natatanging mag-aaral ng medisina ng Pilipinas on the national level and national capital region level, and also natatanging mag-aaral sa larangan ng panlipunan. Manuel L. Quezon Leadership Award, St. Dominic de Guzman Teamwork Award, and Benavides Outstanding Achievement Award, all from UST.
Aside from that, he is also a magna cum laude of Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy at UST Batch 2017, Pope Leo the Eighth Community Development Award and Gawad Talino Award from the UST Faculty of Pharmacy. And lastly, a batch valedictorian at the Philippine School of Dubai. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Dr. Robert Dominic Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome from our host. And feel ko yung energy nila, no? And gusto ko yung parang na-radiate nila yung happiness nila sa papa-approach na weekend for all of us. So, yan, without further ado, before I start, I'd like to state some trigger warnings first. So, for today, we'll be discussing about mental health. So, therefore, we'll be tackling on topics like depression, suicide, and other mental health concerns. And if you feel uncomfortable discussing these topics or listening to the topics as we discuss through, please feel free to kindly turn off muna your gadgets while recuperating your mental health or parang ability to listen again. Okay? So please feel free to do so. Right? So first of all, thank you so much to Vista Residences, to the other members of the organizing committee, to Ms. Samantha Paradero for inviting me to take part in this event. It's an honor to speak in front of everyone today, especially right now, no? Mahirap na mag face-to-face setup. So, online or virtual setup muna tayo ngayon. And one of the topics really close to my heart is mental health. So, I'll be discussing mental health today. And before I officially start, does anyone recognize these words on my slide or the arrangement of the words? Parang saan nyo siya nakita, from what book, story, or movie did this come from? Okay, ayan yung okay, okay. So, I'll be giving around 5 seconds siguro. You can comment sa comment section. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so if you guys are familiar with this, it came from The Fault in Our Stars. Okay, we have a response in here from Muriel. Okay, that's right, The Fault in Our Stars. Okay, so I chose this title for this topic because through this story, we learn that we must recognize the simple pleasures and indulge in them. That we must accept that life is unfair, but it's unfair for all. So, kumbaga, it's fairly unfair for everyone, and that we must not let that trip our hope for what's ahead of us. Kahit na unfair ang world sa atin, wag pa rin tayo mawala ng pag-asa kung ano yung paparating in the future. And also, most importantly, we learn that it is a good life if we allow it to be, and that if we take the time to see it that way, and we try to make things possible. So going back to our topic, presently throughout the world, the public is being informed about the physical effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and steps to prevent exposure, manage the symptoms, and the clinical signs and symptoms of COVID-19 as they appear. However, the effects of the pandemic on one's mental health have not been studied in-depthly and are still not known. So kung maririnig nyo ngayon, puro parang paano ba mapipigilan yung COVID-19? Paano ba ako magagamot pag nagkaroon ng COVID-19? O kaya, paano ba ako mababakunaan? Pero, never or parang less likely na maririnig natin na pinag-uusapan yung epekto ng COVID-19 sa mental health natin. So as all efforts are focused now on understanding the epidemiology, the clinical features, transmission patterns, and management of the outbreak, there has been a very little concern expressed over the effects on one's mental health and on strategies to prevent stigmatization. So the present situation, therefore, requires us to raise awareness in public, which can be helpful to deal with this calamity. So let's start off with the first statement. A pandemic is not just a medical phenomenon. It affects individuals and societies and causes disruption, even anxiety, stress, stigma, and even xenophobia, if you've heard of that term. So rapid human-to-human transmission of the SARS-CoV-2 resulted in several enforcement of regional and even nationwide lockdowns, which were done to prevent further spread of the disease. So yan, pansin natin, parang on and off yung mga lockdowns recently, hindi natin alam kung kailan ba matatapos ito. Therefore, because of these lockdowns, isolation, social distancing, and closure of educational institutions, workplaces, and entertainment venues were also designated. So therefore, people were consigned to stay in their homes to help break the chain of transmission. However, because of these restrictive measures, undoubtedly, these have affected our social and mental health from across the board. So according to a review published by The Lancet, the separation of our people or ourselves from our loved ones, loss of freedom, boredom, and uncertainty can cause a deterioration in an individual's mental health status. And to overcome this, measures at the individual and societal levels are required. So now, we ask ourselves, who are the people at risk of mental health problems during this pandemic? It may be you, maybe me, it may be even all of us, especially those who are underprivileged. So let's start off with the first group of people, the children and teens. Children away from school, away from their friends and colleagues, staying at their homes can have many questions about the pandemic. And they often look towards their parents or caregivers to get answers from these varying questions that they have. Not all children also and parents respond to the stress in the same way. So iba-iba tayo ng mga response mechanisms, iba-iba tayo kasi ng mga pinagdadaanan. Some people also are more privileged than us. So if you guys heard of the phrase na before, na we all are traveling into the same stormy seas, but we do not have the same boat. Some have strong ships or big boats, and some only use recycled materials or even don't have any boats to survive. Okay? So because of these, children and teens can experience anxiety, distress, social isolation, and an abusive environment that can have short or long-term effects on their mental health. Some common changes that we can observe from our children and teens are the following. So excessive crying and becoming more annoying, increased sadness, depression, or worry, difficulties with concentration and attention, especially if you notice them losing focus in their academics or online classes, changes in or avoiding activities that they enjoyed in the past, and many more. So to help offset these negative behaviors, this requires our parents, our elderly, caregivers to remain calm when dealing with these situations. And they must also remain wise when dealing with these types of cases. And of course, since these types of people, like the children and teens, have lots of questions, kailangan may patience din tayong sumagot sa mga katanungan ng kabataan. So parents can also take some time to talk to their children about the COVID-19 outbreak and share some facts, figures, and information. Parents can also reassure their children that they are safe at home and encourage them to engage in some healthy activities, which may include indoor sports, physical and mental exercises, and many more. So parents can also develop probably a schedule, no, to keep up with their children's studies and to-do lists for the day. Parents should also show less anxiety or stress at their homes as their children perceive and feel negative energy from their parents. The involvement of parents in healthy activities with their children can help to reduce stress and anxiety and bring relief to the overall situation. So next group of people, after our children and teens, of course, our elders and differently abled people are also at risk. Elderly people in the sense that they are more immunocompromised, no? Kasi pag tumatanda tayo, mas humihina yung immune system natin. Kaya aside from them being more at risk sa pagkakaroon ng COVID-19, mas at risk din sila magkaroon ng mental health problems. Same as true with our differently abled people. So of course, the third group of people, our frontliners, doctors, nurses, paramedics, or the workforce in general, no? Since they are working as a frontline force to fight the COVID-19 outbreak, they may be more susceptible to develop mental health symptoms. Some instances that they experience are the following: fear of catching a disease, long working hours, unavailability of protective gears and supplies, patient load, unavailability of COVID-19 medications, lack of vaccines, death of their colleagues after exposure to the virus, social distancing and isolation from their friends and family, and the dire situation of their patients. All of these may take a negative toll on the mental health of our workers. Therefore, the working efficiency of our health professionals are also gradually decreasing. Health workers should therefore take short breaks between their working hours and deal with this situation calmly and in a relaxed manner. But you see, even though I tell these things or stuff very ideally, in our country, in our reality, we cannot really do all of these ideal things unless the government, unless the private institutions provide healthy working policies and regulations for our workers. So just salary, beyond minimum wage na salary, lessening or shortening the working hours of our healthcare force, of our frontliners, para hindi sila ma-burn out, para hindi sila na-abuse sa mga workplaces nila. So these are just some of the recommendations that we can give for our frontliners. So next topic is about battling stigmatization. Probably na-experience nyo na to, no? Meron kayong na-meet na person na nagkaroon ng COVID-19 before. Tapos, siguro parang because of the media or social media na nako-consume ninyo or nababasa ninyo, nasi-stigmatize nyo na yung mga people na nagkakaroon ng COVID-19. But we should not do this. The same way that we do with the other diseases happening, we must battle or prevent stigmatization. So generally, people recently released from quarantine can experience stigmatization and develop a mix of emotions. Everyone may feel differently and have a different welcome by the society when they come out of quarantine. People also who recently recovered may have to exercise more social distancing from their friends, family members, and relatives to ensure their family's safety because of because of the unprecedented nature of the viral particles. Different age groups also respond to this social behavior differently, and this can have, again, both short and long-term effects on our mental health. So, however, the current situation requires a clear understanding of the effects of the recent outbreak on the mental health of people and of the different age groups to prevent and avoid the COVID-19 pandemic. So again, the lesson in here is that in order for us to prevent stigmatization, the best thing that we can do is to educate people on what COVID-19 is, and that once you recover from the COVID-19, hindi ka nakakahawa as long as wala na sa'yo yung virus, nag-recover ka na, and you practice health and safety protocols. Okay? So wala tayong dapat ikatakot sa mga naka-recover na or gumaling na. Okay, so now that we're talking about lots of the mental health problems and the risk groups that we have, no? What are the things that we can do in order to prevent or even manage ourselves during these times of mental health crisis? So let's give a few examples of things that we can do. So if you know someone experiencing a mental health crisis, we can use the ALGEE plan, which can comfort someone who is experiencing a panic attack or anxiety attack until appropriate help arrives or can be sought. So ALGEE is actually a mnemonic. It's a 5-letter mnemonic, no? ALGEE. And each letter stands for the tips that we can do. So let's start off with letter A. So assess risk for suicide or harm. Okay, so this is the step number 1. So we'll go through with them individually so that you know the specific measures, so we can give our viewers or audience, no, a parang first aid, kumbaga, on how to help people having mental health crisis. So again, letter A from the ALGEE is assess risk of suicide or harm. So I have a few infographics here from the World Health Organization, which describes ways on how to detect and how to help people who are having suicidal ideation. So here in the infographic number 1, we have here information for teachers and people at the schools or education field. So here on the infographic number 2, we have information or ways on how to prevent suicide for journalists and for those who are writing about suicide. Okay, next we have here information for employers, managers, and even employees. So I'll be emphasizing these details from this infographic because I believe that majority of our audience in here are from the workforce, no? So I'll be discussing individually these topics. So first, what are the signs that we must look out for? So we can look out for signs of expression of thoughts or feelings about ending one's life, or if that person is talking about feeling unhappy, feeling lonely, or hopelessness. Okay, so those are the signs that we can look out for. Expression or feelings of isolation, loneliness, hopelessness, or loss of self-esteem, or dwelling on problems. Withdrawal from colleagues, decrease in work performance, or difficulty in completing tasks. So we can monitor these things and many more from the bullets in here. So if you observe them from your co-workers, from your employees or employers, so these are the signs that we are looking out for in terms of preventing suicidal ideation. Okay, so once we looked out for these signs, what are the things that we can do, okay, for our colleagues? So first, express empathy and concern. Encourage them to talk and listen without judgment. So later on, I'll be giving tips on how to be an active listener or be a good listener for your colleagues or friends. So ask if there is anyone that they would like to call or have called. Encourage them to reach out to health or counseling professionals or services inside the organization or even outside the organization if none is available from within. And for the last bullet, if your colleague has attempted to or indicates that they are about to intentionally harm themselves, remove access to any harmful means or materials, and do not leave them alone. And once doing this, seek immediate support and help from staff health services. So you can do this by calling through phone or asking someone for help to do so. Okay, so how about if you're an employer or a manager? What are the things that you can do? So of course, aside from the things that I mentioned a while ago, you can also improve the working policies inside your institutions. Have a more mentally healthy working environment and mentally healthy or mentally healthy friendly working hours for your staff. So here we can provide information for our workers for their self on mental health and include prevention strategies for these talks or sessions. We can also foster a work environment in which colleagues feel safe, comfortable to talk to when it comes to their problems. So if hindi available ang manager or employer, probably no, they can designate a guidance counselor in their institutions or their HR managers or even your co-employees can do so. Okay. Third bullet, become familiar with legislations, important legislations, especially on mental health. And next, identify and reduce work-related pressures which can negatively impact one's mental health. And lastly, design and implement plans which are more sensitive to the needs of our workers. Okay, so aside from these, we also have infographics for those who are working in the healthcare field, those who are working as policemen, firefighters, and those who are emergency responders. And lastly, those who are working in prisons or jails. Okay, so we're done with letter A. So again, what's letter A? Assess risk for suicide or self-harm. So number 2 is letter L from the mnemonic algae. Okay, so listen non-judgmentally. So one of the most important parts of mental health first aid is compassionate listening. This lets the person know that speaking up about their illness is acceptable and encouraged, and that there are people who care about their struggles that they face. To initiate the mental health first aid, approach the person in a private setting, okay, and express your concerns about their anxiety in a respectful manner. We can ask open-ended questions like, how have you been feeling lately? And or how long have you felt this way? Okay? So in Tagalog, pwede natin silang tanungin ng kumusta ka na? Kumusta ka ngayon? Kaya gaano katagal mo na 'to nararamdaman? So those are the questions that we can ask these people. So be prepared also to listen quietly and patiently to what they say if they are willing to speak with you. At this stage, it is imperative that you are an active listener and show compassion and understanding. So what are the tips for us to be an active listener? So during this conversation, be aware of how you think and act. Be mindful to withhold judgments and judgmental thoughts and feelings. Not be critical of the person and their emotions. Do not try to correct the person or convince them that their beliefs are misguided. Not give flippant or unhelpful advice like, you'll get over it. Wag natin silang sasabihan ng ganon. Okay? Kasi medyo parang dinadowngrade natin yung nararamdaman nila kung sinabihan natin sila ng, mawawala din yan. You'll get over it. Okay? So iwasan po natin sabihan sila ng ganon. And also kapag kausap mo sila, iwasang tumingin sa smartphones or iwasang tumingin kung saan-saan. Maintain eye contact and a comfortable open body language to these people. Okay, so other things from these bullets, restating what the person has said. So pwede mong i-paraphrase yung sasabihin ng isang tao. Kunwari sinabi niya na, kaya ako nalulungkot kasi ganito, ganyan. So pwede nating sabihin na, kaya ka ba nalulungkot dahil nangyari to sa'yo? Nangyari yung ganyan, kaya ka nalulungkot. Okay, so pwedeng ganon. So using minimal and verbal prompts like I see or okay, pwedeng ganon. Okay? So asking clarifying questions, which shows that you want to understand what he or she wants to you to understand, or he or she is feeling. Allowing silence and pauses in the conversation, so these are okay. And practicing patience, of course. Okay? So those are some tips for being an active listener. So we're done with letter L. Next letter is G. So give reassurance and information. An anxiety disorder can make someone feel characteristically or uncharacteristically fearful. They may feel like they are losing touch with reality, fear that their loved ones despise them, worry that they are unworthy of love, or fear that they are a failure. And these fears are often unfounded, but they are still intrusive and harmful. As a mental health first aider, do not try to reason with these people, or do not try to convince them that what they feel is inaccurate. Do not dismiss what they are feeling, their fears, as unrealistic or trivial as this may seem, because this is unhelpful. Okay? So this can make them feel guilty and can deter them from explaining their anxiety further. Instead, respond to the person's fear with empathy. Okay, so empathy and kindness and patience goes a long way. Okay, so here are some tips on how we should reassure them. So reassure them that they are not to blame for their mental illness. Their anxiety doesn't make them any less lovable. Their anxiety is an illness that deserves treatment. Recovering from anxiety is possible, and you are available to listen if they need to talk again. Okay, so lend them a hand, show them that you're there for them, that they're not alone in this battle. Okay, so that's letter G, giving reassurance and information. So letter E, next, in the algae mnemonic, encourage appropriate professional help. So there are times na hindi na natin kaya. So ito, no, I think common question to later. Paano, tatanungin nyo, Doc, paano po kung hindi ko na kayang tulungan yung kaibigan ko or sarili ko? Ano na pong dapat kong gawin? Okay? So encouraging appropriate professional help is the next thing to do. Many people do not realize how detrimental anxiety disorders can be, and they may believe that anxiety fades over time. However, people who struggle with anxiety disorders do not have to suffer in silence or wait for their condition to go away. Professional treatment is always available to people who struggle with anxiety. So here are some of the references that we can refer these people to. So the primary care doctors, mental health counseling institutions, certified peer specialists, psychiatrists or psychologists, and giving them medication therapies with anti-anxiety medications, consult if necessary. So here on this next slide, no, this is a very helpful slide that I want to share with all of you. These are mental health resources. So I got this from Rappler and from Silakbo PH. So Silakbo PH is a Philippine-based advocacy group composed of students and young professionals. And their main goal is to uplift stories or uplift the context of mental health awareness in our country. So I'd like to share the website of Silakbo PH, no? So here it is. Okay, so for a while. Okay. So can you guys see the website of Silakbo PH already? Okay, so here. So as I scroll down in this tab, so here are the different mental health resources that you can visit. Okay, so www.silakbo.ph. So help. So dito yun sa seek help tab nila. Okay, so you can click it here. Then this will show mental health resources. So here are a list of available mental health resources that one person may contact if kailangan niya ng tulong. Okay? So wag po tayong mahihiyang humingi ng tulong kapag nahihirapan na tayo mentally or psychosocially. Okay? Kapag hindi na natin kaya i-manage yung sarili natin, like napapagod na tayong bumangon, hindi na tayo nakakakain ng tama, napapabayaan na natin yung sarili natin, these mental health supports are always available to call. So again, you see here free online services, no? So this is really nice, and these were developed during the COVID-19 pandemic. So here are the different hotlines, email addresses, and Facebook or group pages that you can visit. Okay. Okay, so we also have here, aside from the free online services, we have a lot of parang services din dito na may paid or may bayad na. Kasi these are already instances na parang need mo na talaga ng deeper consultations from a doctor or even requiring prescription medication. Okay? So again, huwag po tayong matakot magpakonsulta kapag nahihirapan na tayong i-manage ang mga mental health problems natin. Isa po yun sa mga dapat nating buwagin na stigma sa bansa dahil ngayon, no, parang medyo stigmatized pa rin ang mental health. Like sinasabihan tayo na i-shrug off na lang, mawawala rin yung mga problema. Pero again, it's really nice that during our generation, no, nung siguro nag-start to mga bandang 2015 onwards, nag-start mag-bloom yung culture ng mental health awareness in our country, which is slowly but surely going in a good road ahead. So sana pagdating ng panahon, naintindihan na ng mga tao or ng karamihan ng majority ang tungkol sa mental health ng isang tao. Okay, so let me share my slides again. Okay. Right. So again, these are the different mental health resources that you can visit. So you can take a screenshot of this para ma-visita nyo sila later on if you want to. Okay, so from Rappler, you can visit them or Silakbo PH. Okay. So now, another common question that I get asked, Doc or Sir or Kuya, paano po kapag ayaw magpatulong ng isang tao? What if the person doesn't want to get help? So if you notice that the person is resistant to the idea of seeking professional treatment or having any professional help, ask if they have any specific concerns about getting help. Like, pwede mong tanungin, bakit ayaw mo humingi ng tulong? Pwede mong sabihin sa akin, natatakot ka ba? Anong problema? Pwedeng ganun yung mga tanong natin. They may misunderstand how treatment works or be fearful about telling anyone about their feelings. Reassure them that they deserve to heal from what they are experiencing and remind them that it may only get worse if professional help is not sought. Okay? So however, remember that it is not your place to fix their anxiety and we cannot force them to get treatment. So kumbaga, if hesitant sila, even after this conversation or after this talk, let them know that you are still available to help if ever they change their mind. Okay? So give them time to process things. Pwede mo silang bigyan ng siguro link, internet link ng mga helpful mental health resources para lang if maisipan nila on their own pace, on their own time na gusto na nilang humingi ng tulong, okay, mabisita nila yung mga yon. Pero again, do not force them to get treatment. Okay, but let them know that you are there to help them, you're available to help them if they change their mind. Okay, so all you can do for these people is to be supportive and recommend viable treatment options. It's up to the person who faces anxiety to decide how to proceed after receiving your help. Okay, and also if may mangyari man tayong mga mental health crisis, you can teach them the ways that I told you a while ago, yung ALGEE, no? Yung ALGEE, pwede natin yun ituro sa kanila. Okay? So last letter E, encourage self-help and other support strategies. So ito na yung karamihan din ng katanungan ng mga tao. Paano kung wala akong kasama sa bahay? Paano kung ako lang yung nandun para tulungan yung sarili ko? So what are the things that I can do? So fortunately, there are plenty of options, of self-help options for people who struggle with their mental health. So one of the most beneficial strategies is seeking out the support of other people. But if other people are not available, you can do it on your own as well. So I'll be showing a few tips later on. Okay, so here. Right. So engaging in daily exercises, eating a variety of fruits and vegetables. So again, intertwined or interconnected ang physical health natin sa mental health natin. Okay? Kapag merong isang health na bumagsak or nag-fail, babagsak din yung isang portion ng health. Okay? So, wag pabayaan ng kahit ano, kahit physical health, mental health, spiritual health, social, psychosocial health. Okay? Wag pabayaan ng mga yon. So, next, reading self-help books, practicing meditation, building on anxiety crisis kit, practicing minimalism and daily gratitude or prayers, practicing or managing anxiety attacks at home, strategy for managing anxiety at work, and taking a mental health day. So meron po akong ituturo sa inyo. Isa po to sa natutunan ko sa mga talks na na-attendan ko before, no? Sa mental health. Breathing exercise siya for parang quick relief kapag ina-anxiety or panic attacks po tayo. So hawakan nyo po yung hand nyo. Tapos you can do breathing exercises by doing this. So inhale, exhale. So tuwing aakyat yung daliri ko na isa, inhale yon. Tapos exhale kapag pababa. Tapos paakyat, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So pwede nyong ulit-ulitin po yon para mag-guide kayo kung tuloy-tuloy lang na breathing exercises para ma-ease yung hirap sa paghinga tuwing may anxiety attacks or panic attacks po tayo. Okay? So what are the other ways to cope naman with stress? So taking breaks, that's number one. Taking break from watching, reading, or listening to news stories. Kasi ngayon, no, in reality, medyo stressful yung mga nababasa nating balita. Although, hindi naman required na parang sinasabi dito na wag na tayong magbasa ng balita kasi responsibility pa rin natin yun na citizens of this country to know what's happening outside. So just take breaks, okay? Even social media breaks are also important right now kasi medyo pressuring an environment ng social media ngayon. Okay? So next, taking care of your body. So I mentioned some of these examples already from the previous slide. So taking deep breaths, meditation, stretching, well-balanced meal, exercises, and many more. Okay? So next, making time to unwind, connecting with others, with your faith-based organizations and community organizations, and helping others cope. So taking care of yourself can better equip you to take care of others as well. During these times of social distancing, it is especially important to stay connected with your friends and family. Helping others cope with stress through phone calls or video chats can help you and your loved ones feel less lonely and isolated. Okay, so yung mga simpleng voice call, FaceTime, Zoom, yan, Discord, or mga Facebook calls, ganyan, video calls, those are really, really helpful already during these times. Okay? So if you're struggling to cope, there are many ways to get help. We can call your mental health care providers. So yung mga napakita ko kanina sa inyong references, pwede nyo pong gamitin yon. Okay? So during times of extreme stress, people may have thoughts of suicide. So again, suicide is preventable and help is available. Okay? And next, free and confidential crisis sources, which I've also shown a while ago. Okay, dun sa Silakbo PH and Rappler websites po natin. Okay, so next, if I were to encapsulate everything that I'm talking about right now, no, I would like also to encourage everyone to use their voices and privileges to help call for a nationalistic, community-based, and scientific approach to mental health. Kasi from what I am seeing right now in the point of view of a healthcare professional and as someone who speaks about mental health more oftenly, no, kokonti pa lang yung mga polisiya natin sa bansa para maging mentally healthy, friendly yung country natin. So, we need to use our voices para marinig tayo ng mga taong nasa government or our lawmakers to make nationalistic, community-based, and scientific approaches to mental health. Okay? So for my take-home messages before I end, so understanding the effects of COVID-19 on the mental health of various populations are as important as understanding its clinical features, transmission patterns, and management. Next, spending time with your family members, including the children and elderly, involvement in different healthy exercises and sports activities, following a scheduled routine, taking breaks from the traditional media, social media, can help to overcome mental health problems. And remember, there is always someone who is there willing to listen to you. We are never alone. Hopefully, we can be that someone as well for other people. And with that, thank you all for listening and have a great day ahead. So here are my references. Okay. And you can contact me if you want to know more about mental health problems, mental health first aid, and many more. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone.
Yun, wow.
Thank you so much, Doc Robert, for educating us and giving us opportunities of taking care of our mental health. Siguro one of the notable things that I learned with your talk kanina is it's okay not to be okay, 'di ba? Of course, we need to
Definitely.
give ourselves time to relax and unwind, especially if the stress is getting too much for us to handle na kumbaga. But how about for my partner Jay? What's your main takeaway from this?
Siguro, Joel, what I find important in the topic is having a constant connection with people you love and people you find important. In this way, kasi you get to release and relieve the negative thoughts that is caused by this pandemic. And personally, I'm a sucker at expressing myself, and the other way around, which is listening to other people's stories.
Wow, soft-hearted ka pala, Jay. Di ko alam yun ah. But you're actually correct, di ba, Doc? It's better for us to do away with our bad thoughts instead of keeping it inside of us. So with
Yes,
that,
that's
we will now move on to the Q&A portion of our program. So guys, if you have any questions for Doc Robert, I invite you all to drop it in the comment section below. But sige, before we read some of your questions, I have a question of my own na lang for Doc Robert. Kasi ako, Doc, personally, I have a tendency to keep on working and not giving much thought to the fact na I need a break na pala.
Eager
So,
beaver.
yeah.
what are,
Mhm.
eager beaver. So, what are some signs that I should look out for na it means na I have to take a step back and pause
Okay.
and like take a break muna.
Okay. So, Joel, no, I think we need to differentiate two things dun sa question mo. First is kapag yung motivation battery mo is 100%, na parang gusto mo nagwo-work kasi motivated ka. That's a good sign. That's a good thing. Pero there are also times na parang work tayo ng work kasi nagigilty tayo mag-rest. So, yun yung other side of the fence. And I think yung concern natin now is nandito sa side na to. Yung tendency natin, ako din actually personally, kapag may mga times na parang gusto ko makalimot, ganun, gusto ko nagtatrabaho, tapos kapag nagpahinga ako, nagigilty ako. So may mga times na ganun. But I learned things the hard way. Actually, it takes personal experience to know your limits or boundaries pagdating sa ganun. I, for one, my boundary or my limit was reached when napagod talaga ako nung kaka-work. Like, na-feel ko na, oo, nag-work ako nang nag-work. Pero I asked myself later on, para saan? Para kanino ko to ginagawa? Masaya ba ako? So, those questions that you ask yourself can help you ground yourself again kung tama pa ba yung ginagawa mo. As compared to answering these questions on the other side, no? Yung kunwari motivated ka talaga mag-work, gusto mong nagtatrabaho, ayan. Pag sinagot ko yung mga tanong na yon, bakit ko to ginagawa? Kasi motivated ako, kasi gusto ko matapos, kasi masaya ako. Who am I doing this for? So pag nasagot ko yun dito sa side na to, it's for my family, for myself, for my salary, ganon, for my workplace. So kaya ko siyang sagutan dito sa side na to. Pero dito sa other side of the fence, medyo mahirap sagutan yung questions na yan. And one more important thing, sorry medyo mahaba yung sagot kasi close to my heart din yung question na yan. Uh,
Mhm.
it's hard. It's a parang thing that I learned lang din nung med student na ako. Rest is an essential part of work. Nilalagay ko sa schedule ko parate yung rest time ko. So when I plot my daily schedule, rest should always be there para hindi ako mag-guilty. Kasi parte siya ng trabaho ko. Trabaho ko for myself, not for others.
Yun. So,
Thank
aside
you
from
so much for that,
communicating to
Doc.
another, no, you communicate to yourself as well to be one efficient, di ba? So, yun.
Mm-mm.
That's a
Kailangan
nice
alam
answer,
mo
no?
sa sarili mo.
So, I think we have our question, Joe.
Sige.
So, the
This
first,
first question is from Miss Abby De Leon. How to take social media breaks during online classes? Wow, ang ganda ng tanong.
Very timely. Okay, so thank
timely,
you so
no?
much, Abby, for that question. So, ito mahirap siya sagutan, no? Kasi ngayon medyo interconnected yung mga online classes natin sa social media, right? So ngayon, ang best tip na bibigay ko sa'yo, kasi ako parang fresh graduate lang din ako from being a doctor of medicine. So I experienced having online classes din before where I took social media breaks also. So what I did, kasi 'di ba Messenger, Facebook Messenger ang usual mode of communication ngayon. So what I did was I asked help from my friend. Parang sinabi ko na during weekend magso-social media break ako. I set that rule for myself. Yun yung self-care days ko, weekend. Walang social media, walang anything. So, as I do those social media breaks, syempre may mga times na may announcement from homework, from classes or teachers, ganun. So, nag-ask ako ng help sa friend ko or classmate ko. Sabi ko, pwede mo ba akong i-update sa Telegram or sa text kung meron mang mga homeworks na need sagutan? Pwede mo bang i-send sa akin yung link ng mga homework na Google document, Google Slides, ganun, kung saan pwede mag-work. Tapos lahat yon sa Telegram or sa text niya isa-send sa akin. And one good thing about using Telegram and text messages or other unusual messaging apps, no, is that away sila from the usual social media. So, hindi ka madidistract doon. So, kumbaga ako, sinet ko yung Telegram at text as work as work media ko and not for socializing para di ako madistract. So, I hope that
yun.
helps.
That was strategic, Doc. So, any other question from our viewers? So, from Chino Canlas, hello. What if a friend who wants to confide in me about his or her problem, but I personally am not in the right headspace to support him or her? Is it reasonable to politely decline for the sake of my own mental health? Or how do you suggest to go about this? Any words, Doc?
Okay. So, Chino, thank you so much for that question. That's also one of the things that I wanted to answer din kanina sa discussion, no? If you want to rewind, pwede siyang balikan. Pero na-discuss ko siya kanina actually, na it's okay to decline if you want to prioritize your mental health first. So, sarili muna bago iba. Kasi hindi natin matutulungan yung ibang tao kung yung sarili
Yes,
natin hindi
Bondos.
pa natin natutulungan. Okay? So, Chino, one best advice that I can give here is, apart from prioritizing your mental health muna, you can do the things that I mentioned a while ago na you can provide materials, links, or references where that person can seek for professional help. Okay? If ayaw niya, so you can give him or her time, at always let him know na parang need mo lang ng time sa sarili mo. Pero pag okay ka na, I'm sure, Chino, that you'll be there for him or her as well.
Wow, thank you for that, Doc. We have another question from Maureen Albania Gira. Question po, how do we know when we need to seek professional help na po?
Yeah.
Okay. So good question also, no? Actually, I want to break the stigma also with regard to seeking for mental health or psychosocial support. Kasi walang oras na pinipili ang mga psychologists, psychiatrists, mga mental health professionals natin Kung gusto mong tumawag sa kanila dahil masaya ka, or malungkot ka, or excited ka about something, pwede mo silang tawagan. Okay? They're very much willing to listen to what we have in store. Okay? It's not always about seeking for help, but if you need someone to talk to, you can contact the psychosocial support system that I gave a while ago. Also, to answer your real question, how do we know when we need to seek professional help? So, first sign or warning sign is kapag hindi mo na nagagawa yung mga basic necessities mo. Hindi ka na nakakakain, hindi ka na nakakaligo, nakaka-change ng clothes, nakakapaglinis ng house, ganun, or even napapabayaan ng work or education. So those are warning signs or red flags that signals you to seek professional help already if hindi mo kayang bumangon on your own. Okay? Pwede naman kahit na sabihin nating malakas kang tao, nakakayanin mo yon, pwede ka pa rin naman mag-seek ng mental and professional help. Okay?
Yun, nice. So another question from Janelle Kate, no? Question po. For some people, bakit po kaya nahihiya or nahihirapan sila ng mag-speak out about their mental health problem? Ano po kaya ang mga kadahilanan nila? Yun. Ano, Doc?
Okay. Alright, so thanks Janelle. So I have a lot of parang theories for this, no? First, cultural. Kasi yun nabanggit ko kanina, no? We grew up in a country na walang pagpapahalaga sa mental health before. Parang kamakailan lang nung nag-blossom yung mental health awareness sa bansa, which is good. So yun, first theory is cultural, culturally rooted. Kaya sila nahihiya. Kasi baka mamaya, pag nag-open up sila sa problema nila, sabihan lang sila na, wala lang yan, kaya mo yan. Nung panahon ko, napagdaanan ko to, ganyan. Pero, iba yung panahon ngayon dun sa panahon dati. Okay, so wag na wag sasabihin na nung panahon ko ganito, ganyan. Because again, iba-iba ang pinagdadaanan ng bawat generations of people. Okay, so we must be very empathetic when it comes to dealing with those stuff. And another theory, no, is introverted yung isang tao. Like, parang naturally introvert siya. Like, he or she doesn't want to speak about what's happening with him or her, ganyan. Kaya siya nahihiya or nahihirapan. In that case, professional help or parang mga mental health responders na yung makakatulong talagang makapagpalabas ng thoughts ng isang tao kapag ganon. And as an introvert myself, no, hindi halata na introvert ako.
Hindi halata.
Mas gusto ko kasing parang mag-isa parate when dealing with my own problems. And self-isolation helps me a lot. Pero knowing that my friends and family are there pa rin outside the door waiting for me to come back, that gives a sense of relief sa akin kahit na mahilig akong mag-isa or maging introvert. So yun. So that's my theory number 2. Naturally introvert yung tao kaya siya nahihirapan mag-speak out. And third is unavailability of resources. Kasi kung hindi ko siguro pinresent today, no, I think if I ask the hosts right now, the two hosts, if hindi ko siguro pinresent yung mga resources na mental health kanina, may alam ba kayo na pwedeng kontakin na institutions, ganon, para mag-seek ng mental health help, ganon?
Ako, Doc, I think isa lang from my previous college. Pero hindi ako masyado familiar actually.
Okay.
So far,
How about
ako,
Jay?
wala po. Up until now, up until now. So we should normalize talaga seeking help in with regards with our mental health. Yun.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my theory number 3. Yung kakulangan sa available resources para sa mga kapwa natin. Kaya hindi sila nakakapag-speak out about their problems. So those are the 3 things that I think na reasons.
Wow. That was so nice, Doc.
Thank you for that, Doc. I think we have one more question from our viewers. Grabe, ang ganda ng mga tanong nila, Jay, di ba? Masyadong
Interesting kasi yung
relevant
topic.
sa mga, masyadong
Definitely.
marami nagpa-participate. We have Alex Udado. How to prevent po na mag-isip ng mga negative thoughts, lalo na now na pandemic?
Okay. So, hi Hi, Miss or Sir Alex. Uh, to answer this question, I would like to propose a few things that you can try. So first, no, having these thoughts means that you were shaped by what's happening sa environment mo. So first thing that you can alter is your environment. So kung exposed ka sa mga stressful situations like stressful na workplace, ganon, ito na yung sign mo para mag-resign or maghanap ng other work. Kasi stressful yung work mo. So, stressor mo siya, pwede mo siyang tanggalin sa system mo para ma-prevent yung negative thoughts. Second thing that you can try doing is distract yourself. Ito yung more commonly ginagawa natin or even myself na I try to distract myself by doing exercise, talking to my friends, watching movies, Netflix, or doing things that make me happy. Ngayong sarado or naka-close dito sa parang mga quarantine areas natin. So, siguro another thing, kapag hindi ka na makapag-isip talaga ng mga nice things to do or nice thoughts. Third, of course, I wouldn't forget, seek professional help na rin po. So, never be afraid to do so.
So
Thank you for
yun.
that, Dog. I think
Yun.
mas maraming creative minds yung lumabas ngayong pandemic, di ba? Since lahat nakakulong na sa kwarto, so kung ano-ano na naiisip ng mga tao. May baking, may yung dalgona coffee, di ba? Na naging
And of
sikat
course,
last
the
year.
TikTok.
So,
The TikTok dancing, di
oo,
ba?
yun,
Maganda
di
yun.
ba?
That could help too, di ba?
Oo.
So yun.
Mm-mm.
So,
So, all right, guys, that's it for our Q&A portion. Thank you so much, Doc Robert, for sharing your insights with us. I hope
No
everyone learned the
problem.
importance. Yes, Doc, thank you very much. I hope we learned the importance of having a healthy mindset and how essential it is to actively work on improving our positive outlook in life, our mental state, and our total well-being.
so again, thank you, Doc Robert. But before we move on to the next part of our program, we would like again to encourage our viewers to like and share this live stream so more people can learn from the knowledge that our speakers shared with us today. Very interesting talaga. Also, don't forget about the chance to win a prize just by liking and sharing this live stream.
So let us
So yeah.
now move on to the next part of our program. Smart investments by Vista Residences make a smart choice. As you all know, Vista Residences is the vertical property arm of the country's largest home builder, Vista Land and Lifescapes Incorporated. We specialize in condominium properties located in the Philippines key business districts. So for Quezon City, we have some projects for you guys. We have 309 Katipunan located at 309 Katipunan Avenue, Vista Point at 329 Katipunan Avenue, and Hawthorne Heights located at 267 Katipunan Avenue. We also have ready for occupancy projects still in Quezon City, namely the Pinecrest at Aurora Boulevard, corner Balete Drive, New Manila, Quezon City, Will Tower at Eugenio Lopez Drive, Diliman, Quezon City, and the Symphony Towers at 6 Sergeant Esguerra Avenue, Diliman, Quezon City. Not only that, we also have projects in the leading business districts, which are Vista Shaw, located at 515 Shaw Boulevard, corner Laurel Street, Mandaluyong City, and The Courtyard at Pedro Cayetano Boulevard, Taguig City.
And in the city of Manila, we have Kizuna Heights, located at 1306 Taft Avenue, Malate, Manila, and Sky Arts, located at General Malvar Corner, Guerrero Street, and Vasquez Street, Malate, Manila. And for regions, we have Canyon Hill, located at Pacdal Road, Baguio City. So yun. And we also have projects in some of the progressive cities in Visayas and Mindanao, namely Suarez Residences in Cebu, which is a remarkable L-shaped mixed-use and premier condominium with a shopping center, a hotel, and a residential hub all in one 29-story tower located in the heart of the city at Gorordo Avenue, Cebu. And lastly, we have the Loop in Cagayan de Oro, a 26-story condo located strategically at the center of convenience where institutions, business districts, and academe are nearby. Its hotel-like condo units and its complete amenities are perfect for the ones who are fond of traveling and relaxing. Grabe, Vista Residences is everywhere and very accessible to everything. What a great investment and super worth it talaga, Joel.
Super worth it talaga siya,
Yes.
Jay. So moving on to the last part of our program, we will now be announcing the winners of our Share Our
Yun.
live stream contest. We will be announcing 3 lucky winners who can each win 500 pesos worth of GCash. So let's wait for a while we pick our 3 lucky winners.
So while waiting, Joel, can I ask you a question? How's the weather there in
Sige,
Cebu?
ano yun?
What's how?
Weather.
Oh, weather.
Weather, medyo paiba-iba siya. Kasi kahapon maulan, yung gloomy, tapos biglang ngayon
Mm-mm.
maaraw na. So, paiba-iba siya. Pero dyan, sa Cagayan, ano yung weather dyan?
Here in Cagayan, the sun is out pero medyo cloudy. A perfect weather pa din for coffee and for those who are working at home right now kasi MCQ tayo. Some of us are
Mm.
working from home. Yun.
Oo, ang sarap nga magtrabaho ngayon eh. Kasi moody and cozy yung weather. So I think we have our first winner already. Congratulations to Miss Julia Garcia. Thank you for that
Wow!
insightful
Congratulations,
talk.
Miss Julia. Congrats.
Congratulations.
And for the second winner, we have Abby De Leon. Thank you so much, Doc. So yeah, congrats, ma'am.
Congratulations. And I think we have our final winner. So the winners will be winning 500 pesos worth of GCash.
Gcash, nice, very
Wow,
nice.
suspense. Wala pang third winner, Jay.
Suspense talaga kasi last eh. Last
Oo,
talaga.
dami kasi
So yeah.
nag-comment, 'di ba? Parang
Mm-mm.
800 yata or
So far, we're
something.
approaching to that figure, Gid,
Mm-mm.
for the ones who are commenting. So, of course,
Sige,
continue
let's
to share.
wait.
Uh, con-
Oo, guys.
continue to
Continue
share
to
this live
share, like,
stream.
comment. We still have one lucky winner.
Mm. Share to normalize the kung ano, to normalize this kind of topic or this kind of problem that we're having right now in this pandemic na about our mental health kasi disregarded po well, not technically disregarded pero not so much na tinatakol noon, 'di ba, Joel? What do you think, Joel?
Hindi naman.
Normalizing, oh.
Oo, parang mawala lang yung stigma kasi yung mga
Mm, yeah.
meron akong kilala ngayon na medyo taboo pa sa kanila yung
Mm,
mag-talk about mental health. So at least now,
definitely.
ma-made
Mm,
aware sila na there's nothing wrong, 'di ba? Oh, I
yes.
think we have our third winner. Tagal
Yun.
napili. Congratulations, Mr. Christian Aparis Buhawe. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Sir Christian. Congratulations. So with that, we
You
would like to
guys
thank
each
our
have.
speaker. Mm,
Sige, go.
yeah. So with that, we would like to thank our speaker, si Doc Robert, no, for taking your time and sharing your knowledge with us about investing in our mental well-being and its benefits. We would also like to thank all of our viewers today. We hope all of you were able to learn something new and enjoy the talk. And of course, also if you guys have any ideas or suggestions on what topic we should cover next, in our Investment Lab series, let us know in the comment section below. So, yun.
Yes, guys, we would definitely love to hear your ideas about that. We would also want to invite you all to our other future events. You can stay updated with us by following our social media accounts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. So, once again, thank you, Doc Robert. And that's it for today, guys. See you next time, everybody. Stay safe. Don't forget to pause, breathe, and relax. And have a wonderful weekend, guys.
Thank you.
Nothing is as precious as life's fleeting moments. In them, we feel alive. In them, we see the things that matter most. Vista Residences lets you live in these moments by being just a heartbeat away from everything. Whether in pursuit of dreams or in pursuit of the best things in life, no one should be too far away from where their passions reside. We create beautiful spaces to live in the middle of the city, so anyone can make of the moment and live those moments beautifully. At Vista Residences, we're proud to build according to the idea of the global Filipino. We set our sights to global standards while keeping to a distinctly Filipino touch. At Vista Residences, one will never be away from where the heart is, because we will always be in the heart of the city. Whether for leasing or for owning, make an investment that matters. Invest in Vista Residences. It is where life's best moments happen.